have, you know, Sam Lloyd from Scrubs, Ted from Scrubs. He was going to do it, but he's not. Sorry about that. But I know. But we've got his. It's just we've got his half brother. His sort of not unsuccessful, less successful half brother, Mr. Tom Richmond. So I think just to mash in Sam Lloyd and give it up for the one and only Tom Richmond. If you want to speak into that one there, I guess. I'm sure it's a bit high.
Okay, so hi.
Hi. So, sorry, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi, it's lovely to have you here. Yeah. This is the band.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello, Tom.
You guys are like great magicians.
Musicians.
Really good magicians.
Musicians. Okay. So you're happy just to do what you want with them? They'll do what you tell them, Tom. So,
Yeah?
Yeah?
Do you guys do you guys know that song, that Elvis Presley song called Hound Dog in A? Do you know that song? Do you? Let's see. I don't know it. I was just wondering if you did. That was good, though. Okay, so hi. Okay. So, I'm Tom Richmond, okay? And this is the Tom Richmond Show! Okay? Hey, when I say Tom Richmond Show, can you guys like go da-da-da-da?
I can do it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's better if I did it in a way, but...
So, okay, so this is the Tom Richmond Show! Okay, cool. So I'm just doing the Tom Richmond Show. I was late. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? So I'm doing the Tom Richmond Show. I didn't want it that time. Okay, so I'm doing this show, okay? And so you should always start a show with a joke, okay? So here's the thing, okay? So this guy was in a doctor's office, okay? And he had to have some tests done because he was sick and he was probably gonna croak or something, okay? So he got some tests, okay? Because he was croaking. And so he had these tests done, and so then he went back to the doctor, okay, to see how the tests were doing. Because that's the thing. Okay, so he goes and he calls up the doctor. He says, I'm ready to know what the tests were saying. So he goes to the doctor's office, okay. So that's the thing. And he goes into that office because he needed to be tested because he was croaking. Okay? So he's walking into and there's a receptionist, I think. Because those offices have them. So he's walking in and he's like, hi, receptionist, because they have receptionists. And she said, go right in. It was a she. It could be a he, but usually it's a she. So that's the thing, okay? So he goes in. She was the one that said you could go in. Okay, so he goes in and he sees the doctor and he's like, so doctor, okay, so I know I'm croaking, but how long do I have? And the doctor's like, okay, 10. And the guy's like, oh, 10 years? And the doctor's like, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then he died. So, that's the joke. So, it's the Tom Richmond Show! Okay, so that's the thing, okay? So,
Let me out of here!
what? What was that?
Let me out of here!
I heard something! Did you hear something? It's coming! I swear it was from right behind you! Could you?
Let me out of here!
Oh, what's that? It's right over there! Oh! Walking music. There seems to be something in the box. Let's see what's in the box. Oh. It's in the box. Oh. Oh. There's something in the box. Queso! Hi! Hi! What's your name? Okay? My name is Ice Teeth. How did you get your name? It was my father's. Oh. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You have a wandering eye. You have two wandering eyes. There we go. Oh well, no. Look at me. Okay, so Ice Teeth, what are you doing today? Oh, nothing. I just thought I'd hang out and come onto the Tom Richmond Show. Okay, good. So, here's the thing. So why don't you tell us about yourself? Okay? Okay, so, watch this. So, I was born in... and that's where I'm from! Look at me. Okay, so, do you have any jokes, Ice Teeth? Yeah, okay, so, I have a joke, but I don't think we have time. Okay, tell it anyway. Okay, so, this is the story of yodeling, where yodeling came from, okay? So, one day there was a traveling salesman, okay? And he was wandering through the hills of Sweden. I think that's where yodeling comes from. And so, he was wandering around and came across a farmhouse. And he went to the farmhouse and said, "Can I spend the night?" And they said, "Yes, okay, you can spend the night," the farmer said. And the daughter said, "I'll show you to the barn," right? Okay, you know. And so she shows him to the barn, right? And she comes back 10 minutes later and her hair is all messed up and she's got hay in her hair and stuff. And then the wife said, "Oh, honey, I think I'm going to bring the salesman some food." So she goes to the barn And then she comes back like 10 minutes later and she's got, hay in her hair and stuff, right? So then the next day, he's getting ready to go and he starts to leave. But the daughter says to the farmer, "Oh, you can't let him leave. He defiled me." And the father was very upset, as you can imagine, and he ran outside and he tried to stop the salesman, but he was way up on the ridge. Way up on the ridge. Oh, I forgot you're telling the joke. And so he goes, he's way up on the ridge, and the farmer says, "Hey, you defiled my daughter. Come back here. And come back here, you defiled my daughter." And then from way up on the ridge, the salesman says, okay, now you're quiet. "I laid the old lady too." Thank you, good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the half brother of Mr. Sam Lloyd. It's Tom Richmond.
Yeah!
One more time. It's Sam Lloyd, Tom